Hello everybody, my name is Maple Pine and welcome back to the 8th episode of my Minecraft Let's Play series. I was meant to press record a bit earlier, but I was kind of on a flow and, kind of got carried away. But I have started a bit of a new project for this episode. So I have collected a few materials from my giant wall I've been digging for a while. Tough blocks as well as deep slate, and I've also got a bit of basalt. Uh, this I've just farmed from my basalt farm, basalt generator right there. And we're actually doing a bit of building today. I kind of was looking down at the area below from my store system, and I kind of realized that it's very bare. And I felt like maybe kind of fleshing it out a bit more, kind of continuing my village theme that I have going on, my little town theme. And I thought, it's an iron farm, so I'm going to try creating an iron mill. And yes, on a city planning position, it doesn't really make sense to have an iron mill very close to residence. That's just how logic works. But what I think I'm going to do to make it work logistically is to... I have no idea. I'll figure it out on the way. But I just had a great idea. Loved the idea of making an iron mill, and so I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, and I'll create a solution story-wise on a later date. I'm going to try using a bit darker colors for the walls, and I'm going to maybe create a roof. I actually don't really know what an iron mill looks like. I'm kind of basing it off of a few pictures I found on Google. And I will actually maybe come back when I have a bit more progress on this. And this is what I've come up with so far. And honestly, it's pretty good. Didn't take too long. I had to go gather a bit of blackstone for my piglin training system thing. But other than that, oh yeah, I also had to go and deforest some acacia trees. But yeah, other than that, I used the materials that I had on hand, and it came out not exactly how I wanted. I'm not really a builder. I'm not really anything in Minecraft. I just play Minecraft. Uh, but it's came out pretty well, at least for my standards. I went with a darker color palette on purpose, because I kind of wanted to illustrate that it's a bit older. Maybe I should have used mossy cobble instead of tough, but I gotta stick with that. And maybe I should have used a slightly lighter color palette in general, but it's not too bad. It's meant to look a bit older, a bit worn down. That's why I go from dark to light, and then to a black roof. And now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna build on this area, this middle portion. I don't want to make something that's, symmetrical, right? Maybe something a very similar color palette, wall color, but have the roof slanting in this direction like this, make a triangle like that. I make it also a bit taller. And I also want to add silos. Because I've seen a few pictures of steel mills, and they all tend to have some sort of iron silos. Okay, so I've worked on it a bit, and I've kind of changed the design while trying to keep most of the color palette the same. I didn't really like the rough design here, so I wanted to go for a more formal design and kind of emphasize the quality that, it's degrading, right? So I've started with blacks on the bottom, deep slate, and went to the tough blocks. Never actually used these blocks, the tough bricks I think they're called, but they're really nice. And so I was thinking maybe putting windows here, like I did here, similar design, but it didn't really seem right. I think I'm gonna use this on top, but here I kind of want to keep this aesthetic going. So I had a pretty brilliant idea of designing dumpsters. And I got a few copper blocks here. Kinda looks like a sore thumb, but then again, it's not too bad. Okay, and now this way the wall isn't actually too bland. And I think it kind of works, honestly. It's not that bad. Um, I might actually make an extension here, kind of like a little boardwalk actually. Maybe like for maintenance stuff, story-wise. Yeah, I can probably be make it so that you can access the roof. But I think I'm gonna do that after I set where the windows are gonna be. But I honestly don't think that's too bad. I like it, yeah. Part of the creative process, huh? I don't really do creative processes, but it's kind of fulfilling, huh? All right, so I think I'm gonna get back to building more actually, and I'll probably get back again when I make more progress. And can I just polish the wall, make it look complete? Okay, so I've been working on this for quite a while, and I finished this wall, which I will show you in a second. And a few finishing touches, we just have a better view of it. But so far, I'm actually having a blast designing this. I'm normally not much of a builder, as I've mentioned before, but I normally just kind of copy designs from other creators. Such as these buildings were all just basically just copied, right? Uh, and I want to try to stray away from that, just so that uh, I use my own vices, and maybe in that way, I can become more attached to whatever I build. Uh, but yeah, so far this building, the one problem I have right now is it's kind of similar to the factory build I made a long time ago. In color palettes. But other than that, I think everything else is fine. All right, so this part is done. This whole wall should now be done. There's a creeper. Gotta be aware of that. But I'm gonna free cam. Just kind of show you the design I've gone to. I decided to kind of change the color here to the bricks, and also I finished this wall as well while I was on the way. And from here, we actually get a pretty decent angle, I'm not gonna lie. It looks finished from this angle, but still got a lot more to go. Yeah, so I really like this guardrail thing, whatever this ladder thing, and so I've made a little bit of like an entranceway here. I'll have to add a door there sometime soon. But we got a lot more here building I have to do. I think I'm just gonna continue the walls over here on this side. Um, but I don't really know what to do about this. I think I'm gonna add pillars over here. Not pillars, but chimneys, metal silos, and maybe I just cover this whole thing with two giant kind of like storage containers. I don't really know. I think that's the plan for now. I gotta get more blackstone actually, so I'll be back in a few more minutes, I think. So I've built this back wall, and I've decided to make these eight gigantic iron cylinders. And holy crap, guys, this requires a lot of iron blocks. Luckily, this farm generates a bunch of iron, and I've my iron's been overflowing for a while anyway, so I don't really mind using a bunch of blocks. I think so far I've used like 20 stacks, I think, maybe even th 25. Yeah, so it's a lot more iron than it looks. And I was kind of worried that the block was too white, but I think it's fine because it was either this or I use copper. And copper is of course way harder to come by. Unless I go and mine out trial chambers, but even that it would take a long time to get what? Like I think I need like at least 40 stacks of iron blocks here, so this makes sense. And also I'm really hungry. Not in the game, just in real life. And I really want to get this done before I go eat anything. Oh yeah, life is great. Life is great. In other news, I'm excited for the Minecraft movie to come out. I think it's gonna be a train wreck. I think it's, well, I don't think it's gonna flop at the box office. I actually think it's gonna do really well, just because, uh, kids are really gonna want to see it, and it's really been a trend for a while that even if, an animated movie's bad, if it appeals to kids, it seems to, do well. A prime example of that would be something like Moana 2, right? I actually watched a YouTube video from a YouTuber called named Shafrillis. Funny guy, very, 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 very good videos. But he makes kind of review videos of media, right? And I was informed that Moana 2 was supposed to be like a mini series on Disney Plus, but then they just decided to take a few of the plots that were scattered around the separate episodes into just one big, feature film, and that the animation quality um was far less than the one that's present in the first movie. And so he was really afraid that, if it were to do well in the box office, then, that might be a cue to Disney that you don't really need to put that much money and effort into, and also time into creating films and projects, and therefore it might become like a trend, right? And I am also worried about that. But yeah, regardless of that, I am very excited to see the Minecraft movie come out. I want to go watch it. Honestly, if I could, I think I might just go watch on the day of release with a few of my friends, just to see it all crash and burn. I'm going with very low expectations, and I still think my expectations are not gonna be met. Yeah, but I'm just gonna go and just have a good time, I think, have a good laugh. Yeah, I mean, what more do you expect from a movie where Jack Black is a lead role? And who's that guy? The Aquaman guy has a weird pink jacket on for some reason. I'm going off of a few reference photos of just real life steel mills. I feel like that's a pretty good way to base this off of. Because I'm also not an expert at steel mills, so I have no idea what they look like. So it's nice to have a reference. Um, what else is there to talk about? Oh, there's been teasers about the Minecraft update. Um, I don't know. I'm not even on the newest version, on the latest version. So I don't really care. Honestly, I used to care a lot about the new things that are coming to Minecraft, but nowadays I feel like most of them don't even I don't even interact with most of the new changes, new updates that come up. Um, like I've been to Trial Chambers once just because, why not? Just to check it out. And I've never found any of those sand things, like the underground whatever. I don't know what it's called, where you like brush stuff. The art, the archaeology stuff, I think that's called. Yeah. And this update as well hasn't really intrigued me so far. I mean, I've seen a few videos, especially from Exumavoid, another YouTuber, about you know the new leaves, the new leaves on the ground, and new particle effects that will be emitting from trees, which is it's a nice touch, but it's it's ambient stuff, right? I don't really doesn't really affect me in any way. But yeah, I think there's been rumors that it might be some sort of end update, which would be nice. I feel like everyone's been wanting an end update for a while, including me. And it'd be nice to see them kind of change it like they did to the Nether. Yeah, the Nether update was a big thing. So I'm hoping for something like that to happen. but I'm not gonna keep my hopes too high. Okay, so this part's all done. So 8 pillars, I had to kind of fix something. I realized that I was doing something correctly, so I had to kind of tear down a few parts of it, but let me freaking sort of better view. So 8 pillars, I decided to also kind of add a gradient here. This one, it's pretty self-explanatory. Smoke comes out, um, and it darkens. I think I'm just gonna use campfires like I did over here. I could use glass panes, to make artificial flames, but that takes too long, and I can't be bothered to. Yeah, and another thing is, I finished the roof, and I'm currently working on this section. The roof, I have to mob-proof some parts of it with carpets, so I can prevent iron golem from spawning. But I can do that later because a I'm not really in any need of iron at the moment. I've got way more than enough still even after using tons of stacks of iron blocks. But yeah, other than this last module that's not covered, everything else is basically fully built and looking rather nice. It's looking rather unique too. I'm not sure. I mean, you can at least tell it's a factory or some sort of mill. So it's nice. I'll make sure to decorate the outside a bit more. I don't know how I'm gonna decorate it, but I will decorate it. All right, guys, I think we're actually finally in the final stages of finishing this building. Kind of went around and added some finishing touches. Can't really, nothing's been done here, but if we actually go to the back, look at there's a lot of additions. I kind of realized that I could probably use some iron ores because it is an iron farm, right? This leads to nowhere, but it's kind of a little small design. I did still resort to use iron blocks because there's really no other block kind of matches the texture of this. I think it's fine. I added some like scaffolding just to make it look a bit more realistic. I added these milk jug looking things. And yeah, just a bit of noise just to break it up a bit. I might add a bit more iron bars just to make it, a bit more industrial looking, a bit more of a story maybe. That's about it. And before I actually finish up the build, or just, tell myself that I've officially finished up, I want to do something on this wall. Now, there are right now two pretty empty walls, that one and this one over here. But for this one over here, I'm planning on in the future perhaps making like a billboard that just like covers this part, or adding graffiti on here. So I want to leave these walls for the future. But for this one, I'm planning on, just I kind of want to build like a truck, I think. Maybe build like a small pipe coming out of the side of the building, uh, pouring out iron products, maybe, and have like a truck built here. And yeah, that's probably good enough for me, honestly. Good. Yeah, so it's like a small little pipe that's coming out of the side, and it'll, function as to dump stuff into a truck that I'll build here. And I think I'm gonna actually leave the truck build for the next episode. I'm actually quite burnt out from this build. I've been working on this for a while now that I think about it. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it off today for this episode. We did a lot. We actually did a lot more than last episode, which is kind of a pretty big change of pace. I'm very happy with how much I've got done. This really gone off to my mind of making an iron mill. And when I get fixated on something, I get really hyper fixated. I think I might have ADHD or some sort of other neurological problems that are stemming from something else. But uh, putting that aside, yeah. Um, hope you guys enjoyed. I think I'm gonna go and do something very monotonous. Go over to the ocean monument and place a bit more sand, clear a bit more area. But that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Bye bye.